Going on, y'all? Southside Junction. It's your boy Sherm. We got a very special guest here today. We got Southside Yoko in the building. What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Yeah. What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Not much. I can't complain, bro. So for those who don't know, man, can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Southside Yoko. I'm from King Street, from Hampton. I'm an artist. You know, I do my thing. I sing, I rap. Mostly, I'm a rap artist though. So that's what we doing.
Okay. And what kind of got you started down that path? Like, what got you involved in that?
Honestly, like my whole life, my family always been involved in music. Like my uncle, he was a guitarist for Michael Jackson. Like his whole career from start to finish. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So like all the riffs you hearing, like Beat It, PYT, all of that. That's my uncle playing the rhythm guitar. Yeah, he from Newport News. He passed away in 2009, but
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
yeah, man, it's all good. You know, it happens. But that's really why I got started into music. It was kind of like a natural bridge for me. When my uncle was alive, we kind of just linked up when he wasn't out of town being a rock star. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay, that's crazy, man. So he did a lot of the guitar work for Michael Jackson. That's
all of it, all the
all
rhythm guitar. Yeah,
That's crazy.
He got a Guinness Book World Record for the most prolific guitarist of the 21st century.
That's insane, bro.
Cause he been on his discography like 500, 600 albums. Like Elvis Presley, Madonna, everybody. He was the premier guy. Like from the 70s to the like the 90s, he was like the go-to guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's insane.
Paul McCartney, The Girl Is Mine, when him and Mike was battling, he played the guitar in that, like everything. You know what I mean? He played every single guitar on what was Mike coming out album? I can't believe I forgot. I mean,
His coming out album?
Yeah, his first album, his first solo album.
Ooh. Damn, it's been a minute, man.
Off the Wall. It's Off the Wall.
Okay, yeah,
So
Off the Wall. Yeah.
Off the Wall, he played every rhythm guitar except for Tito Jackson played on one song. That's it. Other than that,
that's wild. So what made you go the singing / that's rapping route instead of like just playing a guitar?
Well, so that being said, my uncle also was distant. You know what I'm saying? So him and his family mostly was in L.A. At the time. So coming up, we came up like regular people. You know what I'm saying? So like it won't no separation from me and nobody else at this point. I just had an uncle who did something amazing. But he was going through his own thing in life.
Right.
Shit, everything was expensive. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, like I couldn't play the piano lessons, like or I couldn't get no guitar, no saxophone. But it's just something like it wasn't really like the forefront of the things to do, and it wasn't really cool. I hate to say that, it sounds stupid now, but it wasn't like the thing to do. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you.
Yeah, but like when I was coming up, I always could like hold a note. You know what I mean? So one thing I wasn't scared to do was get in chorus. Like for some reason, I was always in chorus. I didn't want to go to band. I always wanted to go to chorus. So I was in chorus for like from like 6th grade to like my senior year. You know what I mean? Type thing. So I always could hold a note, but I don't know. Then once our era was digital, getting on Fruity Loops and all these things you can download and learn how to be a digital instrumentalist. So like that's pretty much what I did. I was making beats for like 10 years. I just stopped making beats like 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Okay. Which I really need to get back into, but I stopped and I just started focusing on this like last year. You know what I mean?
So before we started the interview, we were talking about doing our own thing, setting up in our own place and things like that, and the dedication and amount of time that takes. Do you feel like it was easier for you to make your own beats and rap on your own beats and just kind of make yourself a one-stop shop, or do you feel like it was more beneficial to reach out and work with different people?
Nah, it's more like a balance for real now that I know. At first, I was recording myself, making my own beats and all that, and not to take nothing away from that time period of my life, but I just had way more time. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I had all the time in the world, so I was sitting there doing my little stuff, making my beats, recording myself on GarageBand, and me and my homies, we just smoking, doing that was life then, you know what I mean? Life kind of changed for me now, so I don't really got as much time. And it's an excuse. It's genuinely an excuse to be like, this is why I don't make beats. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, my beats was dope. Like that's we clear that up. My beats was fire. Right. That was everybody knew me for that. Period. Before they knew me for anything else. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like reaching out to other producers also gets you away from being stuck in your own sound. You know what I'm saying? Because it's cool to have a sound, but I watched the clip with Pharrell, and he was saying like the sound changes so much that when you only know one sound and people only know you for one sound, then it's hard to switch. Right when that curve comes, they're gonna be looking at you like, this ain't what you sound like. But if you don't sound like nothing specifically, then you don't never gotta worry about that. You know what I mean? You can outlast the fad, so to speak. That's what Hov always do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like Ye does that a lot too. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Because, you know, people always like, oh, I like the old Kanye or whatever. But I'm like, I mean, he changed with the direction music was going. You know what I'm saying? Because music evolves, music changes. The sound that's in was hot. That always changes. You know what I'm saying? Like the old stuff. I mean, history always repeats itself. You know what I'm saying? So the older stuff, yeah, it always comes back around. But for the time being, it's like a sequence almost. You know what I'm saying? And if you fall out of the sequence, you know what I'm saying?
They're gonna be looking at you like, man, he fell off. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a conscious like decision you gotta make to be like all right, for example, J. Cole, what was it? Born Sinner. I could kind of tell he produced that whole album. You know what I'm saying? Then you could kind of tell that he kind of got a little bit more guidance from different producers later on. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because the sound is still that J. Cole signature sound, but it's kind of evolving a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point, I think I was afraid that he was going to always sound like this. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then I think maybe he might have caught it, went to that too, and was like, you know what, I got to, because now he doing Young Thug features, and you know what I'm saying? He obviously, it was a conscious decision to be like, I'm not about to be this sheltered artist with people got to put me over here by myself, you know what I'm saying? Because I could play in the sandbox with everybody else, you know what I mean? So like, the only that's like the only bad part about doing everything yourself is it kind of box you in. But the best part is you on your own time. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta wait for nobody. You ain't gotta wait for no engineer to get back with you. You ain't gotta be like, man, send me some beats. Send you some money, whatever. I need some beats. And you got the internet now. If I really need some beats and you want to send them to me, I'll go buy some. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's real simple these days, bro.
No, I feel that. So do you feel like, are you more in tune with rapping or are you more in tune with producing? And do you feel like you stopped producing because it was taking more time from the rapping?
I feel like I stopped producing because I couldn't produce the quality of beats that I wanted to. This is probably something I ain't never really even talked about, but it's just like the beats were there. They were there. You know what I'm saying? It was probably the quality. Like when my man's point, he 1500 nothing. Like his beats, the way they sound, not that they were so much structurally or melodically different than my beats that we are all, you know, fully like capable of making dope beats, but his sound was way better than mine. You know what I'm saying?
In regards to like mix and mastering?
Yeah, right. Okay. And I didn't have that. So I was like, man, I'm not about to rap on these beats because it's taken away from what I actually can do. Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like that's when I was like, nah, I ain't about to do it until I'm fully capable of doing it at the highest level. And I ain't got there yet. You know what I'm saying? I got there with the rap and the mix and like mixing my own music rap wise, making songs, but like until I got the every Timberland drum pack and until I could really get out there and express myself at the highest quality, I ain't really worried about the beats right now.
Okay, no, I feel that.
I do it like Quavo making beats. You know, you're in the studio, you got everything at your disposal. So like, right. You know what I mean? I'll do that now, but okay. I won't. I kind of fell away from it. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's your product. You know what I'm saying? That you're putting out. You want to make sure that you put out the best quality product you can put out. So obviously, you know, you don't want to make sure you don't want to cut corners or anything. You don't want to put something out that might not be mastered the right way.
A lot of people I know right now, their problem is that they rap on beats that people get them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being so picky, I'm so picky with my beats, bro. Like I don't let nobody pick the beat for me. Like all my brothers, my manager, everybody could be in the room. Man, it's the one. I know what's the one because this was something I created. It ain't arrogance. It's just literally like if I'm doing a feature or something like that, then yeah. But like for me, I'll be like, I'll be in tune with you. Yeah, this shit is hot. But like for real, nah, this ain't it. You know what I mean? And people get beats from people. and cause they free or cause it's their best friend. My cousin give me beats all the time. We just had a conversation the other, like at my uncle cookout. I was like, bro, like your beats is fire. Only thing we missing right now, reason why I can't get on them like I want to, is cause the same problem I had, the mix ain't there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's gonna take away from everything that we trying to do, just because we ain't got it, the quality there. You know what I'm saying? But the shit is fire. But that little element can take away everything. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I feel you on that, man.
Yeah.
So how long you been actually rapping?
Man, I've been rapping just as long as I was making beats, and I was a little kid. I was writing in notebooks, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't know my name was Primo before. That was my producer name was Premium Productions. People call me Primo for short. So when I started rapping, I just naturally became Primo. Then everybody called me Primo Sabi. My boy said the shit one day like Kimo Sabi, Primo Sabi. So I kind of ran with that.
Okay, word.
And so we was rapping. I was rapping, and I had 2 or 3 mixtapes I never put out. You know what I mean? The beat, I had beats from high end beats, good producers, top notch producers. I just never put it out. I put it out on SoundCloud, and never pushed it like my new mixtape. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know the format. I didn't know how to come out like, oh, I'm a rapper. So I just did what everybody else do. I dropped it on SoundCloud. It ain't do nothing. Ain't do no numbers. So I kind of took a step back from it all, everything. You know, and was like, I gotta do this for real. I'm gonna come back out, and so I changed my name. I was like, first thing I gotta do is create a different vibe, a different element. So I changed my name to Southside Yoko.
Okay. So it wasn't more of a discouraging moment. It was more of a evolutionary moment where you said, okay, this is what I got going on. And instead of being right here, I want to be over here. So I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to revamp myself and then go back into it with a different mindset, different name, everything.
Absolutely. It was a bit of both, though, because for real, just as excited as I was to to come up with this new idea of reinventing myself, because everybody do it. Jay did it. He got 12 names. Hove, Jay-Z, Jay, whatever, Diddy, 2 Chainz, all these guys have gone through the same evolution. But shit, I was nervous. I'm like, man, I don't even know what to rap about. The game done changed so much from 2010 when I was Primo to now, 8 years later, 9 years later. I'm like, that 2 or 3 year gap when I wasn't doing music, I just was like, man, what am I supposed to sound like? What am I identifying with right now? My favorite rappers was like Lupe. You know what I'm saying? These was my guys. So I'm like
Wale,
yo,
like the lyrics, sort of lyricist type.
These was my dudes, and I also was a Lil Wayne hot boy fanatic. You know what I'm saying? So I had all these elements, and my pops from Cali, so I got these West, the Game was one of my, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, what am I going, you know what I mean? This ain't happening. My name sound old. I ain't got nothing to talk about. My sound, I don't know what I'm gonna sound like, you know what I mean? So I was a little discouraged as well as motivated to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just do what naturally comes, what I really want to do, you know what I mean? So it all came down to that. I came up with the name Southside because I travel a lot. And I tell people I'm from Virginia and only really know Northern Virginia, so I say South Side of Virginia. That's where the South Side part came from, and locally, that's Virginia Beach and all that stuff. But
right
on a grander scale, it's just the area, Southern Virginia. You know what I mean? Because nobody really specify Tidewater or 757 unless you've been here.
Right. That's one of the unique things in my opinion about Virginia is the fact that you got Nova, you know what I'm saying? Virginia as a state is northern, but it's southern at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Depends on the position that you're at in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? So it's got a unique dynamic about it as far as the culture and stuff like that.
Because Northern Virginia is completely different than down here. It's city, it's more city, urban. And then Western Virginia is like West Virginia. You might as well, Charlottesville, you might as well be in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, bro, as soon as you pass Radford area, Virginia Tech area, it's just you might as well just call it West Virginia. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just all mountains.
When you're talking to somebody on a global scale, it's kind of like Southern Virginia, South Side of Virginia, and then the Yoko stands for You Only King Once. Okay. So I came up with that, and I just was like, the 2-part name situation was in. Kendrick Lamar, you got Lil this, so I just was like, I'm gonna come up with my own, rebirth, so to speak, and that's when I came out with that. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. And it takes a lot to actually scrap literally everything and then start over from scratch. You know what I'm saying? It takes a
You'll
lot.
see if you know with more business we do, if you be around like some people that's real close to me, they'll be like Primo. I got a section at Broadway one time, and my section was in Primo, the name Primo. So my bottles ain't come out because they ain't know who to give them to. They had 2 people named Primo, just because the dude that I deal with knew me for a long time, so he called me Primo.
Got you.
So you know, it's still sometimes, you know, it's hilarious sometimes, but.
Okay, word. So you feel like that name just kind of sticks with you, you know? It's more of a if you know you know type.
Yeah,
thing.
It's like Tunchi, you know what I'm saying? It's like one of them, like still Primo, you know what I'm saying? My guys still call me that, but
word.
I wouldn't expect no new fans to call me that.
No, okay, I feel you on that.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your music. So after your revamp, what was your first project that you started working on? The first things you did?
I worked on it. So I was in Maryland, living in Maryland at the time. I came up with this. My first mixtape was So Far So Good, and it was I just titled it that because I felt like yo, you know, I'm going through all of this and like I'm still feeling like I'm on top of the game. I feel like I'm right. My head's in the right space. I was like, so far so good. Like it ain't as bad as I expected. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when I put it out, it got a great response. Like a great response. Locally, really, I just couldn't believe how much people were embracing it and like kind of waiting for it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was the first one. So far, so good.
Okay. And how do you feel like that was received by your fans and the people?
Oh, I feel like everybody liked it, loved it. Initially, it got more plays than my second project. You know, off the rip, it was getting numbers, and I was like, dang, like this crazy. You know what I mean? Just for me, something I threw together. Mix wasn't even right. I didn't have the same equipment I had now. You know, I was just like, let me just do this because I got to. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Now, do you feel like you were kind of in a race against time? Because for me, at least, the way I've seen a lot of people, like as far as like artists and things like that, it's you have to make your presence known. You have to be there. Like if as soon as you like fall off for like a couple months, like you just fade away in the distance and people just forget. So do you feel like you were kind of in a race against time to kind of stay relevant or to keep your name out there?
Well nobody knew me, so I think that was the gift and the curse. Was like, yo, I'm just doing this because I can. I got the means to, and this is what I want to do. I love this. You know what I mean? So I was like, once it dropped and I had the reception that I had, I was like, yo, damn, I got to do something now, you know? So I ended up moving back to Virginia and worked on my next project was called The Streets Is Watching.
Okay.
You know, so that's an old Jay-Z title for a DVD they dropped off for their tour DVD, The Streets Is Watching. And it was just it meant so much to me because, like, that's how I genuinely felt at the time. Like, damn, people paying me a lot of attention. I took a picture at the mall, some little girl like, yo, you dude from Instagram and shit. So I'm like, damn. Or I see dudes at the bar somewhere I ain't never seen. Yo, you do, right? So I'm like, damn, people really paying attention on it's a small level, but for me, it's weird because like, damn, y'all know me for music and not something else.
It's a good feeling.
It's
a good feeling.
That's naturally you want people to know you from this podcast now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, I had that happen a couple times. They were like, oh, you do a podcast? I was like, yeah.
Right. So
I was like, yo, shit.
Once it start reaching the scale when you in the bar and somebody be like interrupt, yo, excuse me, yo, you the dude, and then you gonna be like, oh yeah, this is weird now, you know what I'm saying? So I just labeled it The Streets Is Watching because I felt like this was a project that I needed to put out for the people who really don't know me or never really got the chance to listen to me like that.
Okay.
So I put those songs together. It was 10 songs. I did 7 the first time. So yeah, we got and that joint got a good reception, great reception. Initially, I would start out kind of slow. I'm like, damn, maybe the streets ain't watching. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, maybe niggas ain't. You know what I mean? Maybe niggas ain't paying this shit no mind. But then that shit started to pick up, and then those are my most played songs from that. From that album.
Okay, word. Yeah, and I seen your following on Instagram is pretty good too. So what was kind of your keys to success to get your following built up, or did that kind of just build up over time with your just producing and all that stuff? Kind of just built along with it.
Yeah. Well, I kind of got on Instagram back when it first started. You know what I mean? So I had my account was Primo Sabi, and I kind of just shifted it to change, the name change or whatever. I had pretty decent following then, like maybe 7-8K or whatever, but let me tell you a secret too. So I seen this article. It said Kanye song was leaked, right? It's called Southside Serenade. So I was like, yo, I went and listened to it, and there was only a few places you could listen to it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna drop a song called Southside Serenade on my mixtape. So I put the song on my first mixtape called Southside Serenade, and it's my most played song ever, still to this day, on SoundCloud, everything. You know what I mean? Because of that, you know, that was more of a strategy on my end of
that's smart.
Yeah, because it was a song that he was putting out that nobody ever heard. So all my listeners is like from Europe, like, you know, all these Germany, all these people trying to flood to hear this song, and it's me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like,
by surprise,
you know,
like.
yeah, surprise, nigga. And then, but the song is dope though. So people were like liking it, and they, you know, they followed me. So it was crazy.
Okay, word. Oh, that's hard, man. That's hard, and that's good that you thought like that too. Because a lot of people, they don't look at their marketing strategy, because it's about doing your homework too. Right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see.
I ain't never told nobody, man. You get some real stuff.
Yeah, right? No, that's facts, man. Because people don't. A lot of people don't think like, okay, what's relevant and how can I set myself up, like search engine optimizations, like stuff like that, like making sure that you got the right hashtags and key phrases in your descriptions and stuff like that. That stuff's important, man, because that's what people are searching for. When they search for it, your stuff's gonna pop up, and that's gonna help you reach out to a whole nother, you know, place of the world that you didn't think you was gonna reach out to.
Facts, bro.
That's the power of social media and the internet.
Social media is amazing, bro. You can literally do anything, and like people like Lil Nas X, and you know, even the terrible rappers, you know, they all living proof that, you know, you can do it. Right. It's just, you know, your integrity from that point forward, that's up to you. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. Absolutely, man. So let's talk about your new album that you just released. So for those who don't know, obviously, what's the title of that album?
It's called Now More Than Ever.
Now More Than Ever. Okay. So you seem to follow a trend now with your titles, like they kind of mean something about a place that you are at in your life. So let's talk about what that title means, Now More Than Ever.
So back in February, I had an opportunity to go to Roc Nation. Went there in New York. We stayed the weekend. So by the time I left, I didn't leave with like a major Roc Nation contract. So I can't say I'm a Roc Nation artist, you know what I'm saying? But we left with a distribution contract, and Roc Nation is the mother company of that distribution platform. So you know, that's our first real breakthrough. It's like, all right, now it's more than ever. Like, you know, now they watching us. They literally told me this, like, yo, we watching you. We if you had a certain number of things like we looking for, like Spotify listeners, monthly listeners, and all that shit, they didn't really care about Instagram. They don't care about none of that. They're like, if you had these things in order, like the number that we needed, we'll be talking about a different contract right now. We'll be talking about, you know, we'll be popping the gold bottles right now, shit. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Since you know you at where you at, we're gonna offer you this, and we're gonna walk. You know, we're gonna watch you. We're gonna just basically mentor me through this process that I'm in. So I was like, all right, cool. So I sat with the contract for months, bro. I was like, I don't even know if this is what I want. You know what I mean? And it's independent contract. It's not like I'm stuck into something, or like I gotta get my royalties up. I ain't none of that. It's independent situation. I'm still an independent artist, but long story short, I ended up going with it. I gave him my album, my mixtape, Now More Than Ever. It's 10 songs. I feel like it's my best work to this day. You know what I mean? The reception is amazing. I'm talking about like this is the most numbers I ever did ever. You know, people reposting it, people following me. I never even met, never seen, and then the love is just crazy, bro. It really is. I just dropped it Wednesday. I'll be checking my iTunes. The iTunes got this artist thing, you know. We doing like 10,000, you know what I mean, this week. You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I'm gonna drop my screenshot Wednesday when I get the 7-day figure. But like right now we at like 6.5. It's like 5.8 right now, 5,800. So like by the end, you know, if we stay steady, we should be at a good number. And it's like, yo, that's what I'm here for. You know,
it's hard, man. So seeing just your natural progression as an artist, so seeing where you started at and see where you are now, man. What are some of the best changes that you've made in your opinion?
Probably investing in myself as far as my equipment.
Yeah,
you know what
big.
I mean. Like I'm ahead with the curve because I don't gotta wait for nobody.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's the strongest attribute. Like you can be good, you can even be not good, but you make good music. Whoever the judge is of that. The only thing is, if you gotta wait for somebody, you can't really move on your own time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I can go drop a song today. I can
Mm-hmm.
go record a song right now. Me and you can go record. You know what I'm saying? So it's like anything that that stops your momentum is going to stop you at some point.
Right.
It might not be today, but if it's something you don't have, you got to make sure all that shit is in order.
Mm-hmm.
And me changing that about my situation was like most important. You know what I mean? Because now, you know, I ain't really got to wait for much. I could just do it. If I can't do it myself, I got somebody I can count on. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
And that's facts. You know, what's not going to stop you now will stop you later. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, because like I did a short film before that I was working on with one of my boys, Shino. He does a lot of videography and photography and stuff, and we needed a shotgun mic. I knew we needed a shotgun mic, a boom mic, I should say. You know what I'm saying? Where you got the pole, you got to hold the mic on and stuff for good audio. And we ended up having like a shotgun mic instead that you attached to the top of the camera. The quality was alright with the audio, but it wasn't as good as it could be. You know what I'm saying? I knew that going into it, but I was like, you know, we'd be alright. But yeah, that's definitely true, man. So
Yeah.
2020 in hindsight, obviously, but you know, always before out, you want to make sure that your equipment's taken care of first, because that stuff is going to ultimately determine your quality. You know,
because everybody record, everybody do things, man. You know, people got podcasts, but like if this shit is A1, then you're already a step above everything else. If I can click on it and it sound right and it look right, then it's right. You know what I mean? There's nothing to deter me from fucking with it. But like if you get on and your mic, and my audio sound terrible. If I'm, rapping, my highs is too high or something. If it's literally anything, it takes away from you trying to separate yourself from everybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. And I'm glad that you mentioned that too, because I look at like before I started the podcast, I was looking like, all right, well, what's everybody else doing? You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the bigger podcasts like. So I was looking at like Joe Budden podcast. I was looking at Breakfast Club. Ain't really like a podcast, but I mean, they still do interviews, they still do talk hosting and stuff like that. I looked at Joe Rogan. All these people, like they don't need a dope setup because they got their name. You know what I'm saying? Their name alone is gonna make people fuck with them. But I was like, well, let me look at something different. Like all these setups is basic. You know what I'm saying? They setups just look like normal. So I was like, all right, well, let me make some dope shit. Let me dress it up. Let me make it look crazy. You know what I'm saying?
You did it, bro.
Yeah,
and this shit is gonna work because of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you got the natural skill and ability and you got the natural know-how, bro, this shit it was going to work anyway. But because you went the extra mile to provide something different, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing like this in the area, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No,
a lot of niggas
man.
do podcasts, but nobody really invested the time and energy into the space. You
right.
know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the biggest
bro.
part, man.
Yeah.
I was like, listening to a podcast is dope, but actually, in case people want to see what they're listening to, they had that option, and what they seen is dope. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, at least, from feedback other people have given me. It's not just me being conceited, but
it's right, bro.
I take pride in that, man. I take pride in setup, the aesthetic, everything, the quality, all that stuff. So like you said, man, like I'm glad we on that same wavelength where we like, all right, the quality has to be there. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's
quality
what
over quantity all day.
Cause like the lyrics and the bias of being a lyricist or artist or mumble rapper or whatever, none of that shit matters, bro.
Facts.
Because there's so many different lanes you can be in, so many different styles. Hip hop or rap is one thing, but when you go into that door, you open, it's 12 doors you can walk down, bro.
Yep.
You can either be a lyricist, you can be a mumble rapper, you can be an auto-tune singer, or just a singer in general and still be classified as a rapper. But you can be 12 different hats, but like if the shit is trash, it's trash. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So like think about how many times you done heard a song from an artist that just sounds really good, but they ain't saying shit like that. You know what I mean? It's the same concept. Like, man, if you ain't really putting your money where your mind, ain't money. If you just ain't putting the attention where it needs to be put, it ain't gonna work.
Absolutely,
you know
man.
What I mean?
Absolutely. So, all right, man. Well, where can people find you, like as far as social media is concerned?
Oh, I'm on Southside. I'm on I'm on Instagram. Southside Yoko. That's Southside YOKO. Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, Apple, everything. You just search me as that, and it'll pop up. Everybody go get my new joint though, man, because it's the one I got. I got features from Project Pat up there. My second feature with Pat.
That's dope.
Met him on Instagram and shit, and we just been having a back and forth ever since, and it's all love. I got a dude named Lamont Sincere. He actually Casanova, R&B artist.
Okay.
A girl named Maya Lene. I think she from Virginia Beach, but we got like a duet song together. She fire. Big Money Period. He from Newport News. He got the Rover remix that's been going crazy.
Okay, word.
Who else? Tree, my nigga Tree. That's my dog. He probably like the biggest elephant in the room. He do so much for the hip hop scene from this area, but out of town, so you wouldn't even know. But yeah, I got some big names, some things going on up there, man. It's really good. It's really well put together. And I think it's the hottest shit to ever, in the last few years to ever come out, bro. You know, that's just me personally. Out of the area, you know.
You gotta believe in your work, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's so Virginia. It's so for us. It ain't that trap joint where it's like, yo, I can't really relate to this, or he ain't really saying what I want him to say. Like I'm speaking for the people like me that maybe came from that struggle, but ain't had to do no dumb shit because we was smarter than that. Not because we want 2 steps removed from the bullshit, but because you know what, I'm way smarter than doing that dumb shit.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
bro. Absolutely,
So,
man.
like,
Facts. And a lot of people ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? They're not talking to a level that people can relate to. They are, like you said, they talk about superficial things. They talk about things that, they maybe really did, but again, not everybody can really relate to that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, unless it's like some hype shit, that's what trap has kind of gone the direction
and
of now.
It's thorough. It's thorough. It's, and it's for the real ones, but it's like everybody know that doing dumb shit don't make you real. You know what I'm saying? So like. And it's honest, from talking about my family to relationships. Everybody go through that, bro. A lot of people scared to touch that situation because they got to be so tough all the time.
No, I mean, in a sense, like, yeah, it makes you vulnerable because you're talking about what you've been through. But in that same breath, it also makes people respect you because you're not scared to talk about that stuff. You're talking about things that, like you said, everybody can relate to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's had family relationship issues.
Right. Somebody DM me today, bro, from my old song called Miss Tracy. I'm talking about my mom and meeting my dad for the first time. That was last year, 27. I met my pop. So it's like, yo, he just texted me today or DM me on Instagram today talking about, yo, I need to figure this out for myself. Like, I appreciate you making this song. Like, that's what it's really about, bro.
Right.
This is what it's about. It ain't about, whatever, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
I ain't gonna say what it ain't about, but, it is what it is.
No, I feel you, bro. I feel you on that, man. So do you have anything that you want to add, man, before we wrap up here?
Nah, man. Thank you for the opportunity. I got a barbershop, too, on King Street, 1105 North King Street.
Okay,
I just started that. That's that's me trying to change the area, me trying to be an entrepreneur for the real first time. You know what I mean? So
no, facts.
I don't cut hair, but I got barbers in there. I got people in there. So if y'all ever on King Street, y'all want to come check in with me, 1105 North King Street, called Handsome House. Okay. It's a dope little area.
Word.
Grand opening. It's open now, but we gonna have a grand opening real soon.
Okay, bet. Yeah, let me know when that is, man. I'll pull up, bro.
Sure.
For sure, man. I appreciate you coming up and believing my platform and giving me a chance, man. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime someone reaches out and they fuck with the platform, I definitely appreciate it. Because it's just, I guess, positive reinforcement for me to tell me I'm doing something right.
Bro, this is amazing, man. You doing what you're supposed to do. Definitely, you know what I mean? Man. It's clean. This shit is good, bro. I watched a few of them. They sound, everything is right. You gotta keep doing this, man. It give people like me to get a chance to speak the truth and give people. I can't get people insight like this all the time. Right, I don't got the platform. I can't be on Instagram like, yo, let me tell you about. You know what I mean? So this is something I can. You know what I mean? This is the job. This is the. Back in the day, was the DJ who used to break the records. Right. This is the job to podcasts and interviewers to get the intimacy of the artist. Bro.
Right, so they can tell their story, man. Because that's that's why I tell everybody, man. I'm like, look, like my platform is not like crazy big. I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers, but the thing that I do offer for artists and for people is one, I can show people what's going on in this area. You know what I'm saying, and who to look out for, and I can also give the artists and entrepreneurs or whoever a platform to tell their story. You know what I'm saying? I give them content that way they could post on their page like, hey, if you want to hear about my story, here's the link. You know what I'm saying? Go check it out. This is what I am.
So. This is it, bro.
Definitely,
This
man.
is dope, man. You just gotta take your time, keep growing your seed. It's gonna work, man.
Yeah, man. It's a slow grind, but I'm taking it day by day, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna work, bro. Trust
Absolutely.
me.
But hey, man, I appreciate you, brother. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all go ahead on Instagram, all social medias, Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff.
Man.
Check out Southside Yoko. He's out here doing the thing, man. He just released his dope album. It's called Now More Than Ever. Make sure y'all check that out. Make sure y'all get his plays up, man. Get his streams up, man. Hey, bro, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Thank you, bro.
All right, bro, for sure, man. 75 Junction out.